Your question is about how we can claim input tax and why we have some products which on them is there any items the VAT input tax is not recoverable, right? So now first thing is, see, we had three types of VATs. You can say like this: there are three rates applies, right? One is, you can say, taxable supplies. Second is zero rated supplies, and the third one is exempt items.
Exemptions.
Okay,
Yeah.
taxable
Okay.
supplies, we have input tax on purchase. Whenever we purchase, we will calculate input tax, and whenever we sold, we will charge output tax, right? For zero rated, we can claim input tax, yes, but there is no output tax. There is no output tax. And for exempt items, input and output, input tax and output tax both are not applicable. So the most beneficial product to be sale is zero rated items. Or why? Because on zero rated we don't have to claim, don't have to charge any output tax, but we can claim from government the input tax, right or wrong?
Right.
Okay. Who need to register? Okay, now the thing is, one more question. I will cover many topics in this one. Okay. Uh, Now, if you want to charge output tax and if you want to claim input tax, what you need to do? You have to register. What you have to do? You have to register. Because if you are not registered, you cannot claim input tax. You cannot claim input tax. If you are unregistered person, if you are an unregistered person, you are not allowed to claim input tax on your purchases. Zero rated items or normal supplies, input tax can only be claimed if you are a registered person. If you are a registered person, and registration has two types, one is compulsory and one is voluntary. Okay. Exempt, if you have a business on which you have items, you are dealing with the items which are completely exempt, so no need to register. No need to register. Why? Because you don't have any tax implications. You don't need to claim any input tax. You are not required to charge any output tax. So why you are bothering yourself to register with the government? So exempt, if you are dealing in exempt goods only, no need to register. There is no requirement for you to register yourself with the government. But if you are dealing in taxable supplies, zero rated supplies, or mix, yani you are dealing in taxable, zero rated, exempt mix items, then the conditions of registration will apply. You can apply for voluntary registration, or if your thresholds are covered, you will be asked by government to compulsory register yourself. Got it?
Okay, got it.
Now, you want to note it down? Yes,
No, it's,
fine.
yeah, it's fine.
Okay, now input tax. What is input tax? Input tax means you are claiming refund on purchases, right?
Right.
Output tax, you are charging on sales from the next person. Okay. Now input tax can be claimed, can be claimed on every purchase. All the items you are purchased, you can claim input tax except a list, except some items on which you are not allowed by law. You are not allowed by law to claim input tax. Means if you are purchasing any of the three items below, you can see now on the screen as well. If you are purchasing any of these three items below, government will not allow you to charge input tax. Yani if you are purchasing any items, any one of from them, Government will not allow you to charge input tax. Okay. Otherwise, what you are doing, whenever you are purchasing goods, you are calculating input tax debit. You are recording it as a reduction in expense or something like that. But now, if you purchase any of these three items, any one of these three, government will not allow you to charge any input tax, any claim, any input tax. These items are number one, car. Okay.
Okay.
You can see the screen. Ah, okay, now it's fine. Okay, cannot be recovered means you are not allowed to charge input tax. Number one is, the one is car. The second one is entertainment of UK customer. If you are buying any entertaining items for your customers and the customers are UK residents, the purchases will not be claimable. Yani you cannot be able to claim. Yani, see, input tax can be claimed on purchases. Purchases means expense as well. If you are incurring any expense, you are purchasing anything, you can charge your input tax. But if you are purchasing items for entertaining, items of entertainment of UK customers, sorry, you are not allowed to claim input tax. Yani the tax you have to pay from your pocket. Got my point?
Got it.
The second thing is, the second thing is private use by an owner of a business. Means if a owner is taking anything, see, for example, business is buying stationery. Okay, business can claim input tax. Business is buying any item, business can claim input tax. Fine. But if the item is purchased through business, but for what? Not for the business use, for the owner's personal use. You remember in the trading income we discussed that owner is enemy, owner is dushman. We are not allowing any expense, any private expense on owner. Remember or no?
Yes.
The same thing applies here. If you purchase anything for the personal expense or for the personal use of honor, sorry, the input tax cannot be claimable. You have to pay the input tax from your pocket. You have to bear it. Got my point?
Got it.
The motor cars, I told you earlier, if the cars are purchased, you cannot claim any input tax until and unless the cars are 100% used in business. Means there should be no private use. There should be no private use either by employee or owner. This is very important. Usually employees are friend. Every time in our whole course, employees are friend. Everything incurred on employee is allowed, but this is the exception. This is the only thing. This is the only thing, is the exception, that if you buy a car, if you buy a car, if you buy a car for private use of employee, for private use of owner, not allowed, not allowed. But if 100% business use and a car is still, yani you can say it's a car, it's not with any employee for personal, not using for owner personal expense, okay, then only you can claim input tax. Otherwise, no input tax can be recovered on the purchase of car. Got my point?
Got it. So basically, only input VAT can be recovered only if it's for business use, like 100%.
Sorry, what you said? Your voice broke down. Hello?
What I'm saying is that input VAT can only be reclaimed if the motor car is used 100% on the business,
Yes.
not even wholly, like 50 or.
No. If it is 1% private use of honor, if it is 1% private use of employee, sorry, you are not allowed to claim input tax.
Okay, what about lease cars?
Lease cars, same rule will apply. But for the lease car, we have the formula, no? The scale charge will be given. On the scale charge amount, we will charge the tax. Okay.
Okay, so another question is that what is it like? What is VAT return in general? Like, is the
Okay.
HMRC returning your
VAT return. Okay, fine. I will let you know now. See, for example, return means what? See, okay, this is not like that government is returning anything to you. It's not like that. Return means, see, VAT return. Okay, this is not like this English meaning. It has a different meaning. VAT return means this is an individual and this is a government. Government means HMRC. Who is running the business? Who is running the business? Hello?
the owner?
This guy is running the business, right?
Right.
How government will know that what he is doing? How much he made any sales, purchases, sales pay output tax, purchases, input tax, returns, etc., etc. What he is doing in his business place during the month. How a government will know? Government
The
cannot.
documentation.
Government don't have this much artificial intelligence that government will know everything by itself. So what he need to do? He need to submit the documents. What he need to do? Submit
Submit the
details, and the details are in a form. And this form is known as return, VAT return. Yani when you are sharing your information to government, it's online forms. These are forms, okay? And these forms are yani these forms you are filling the forms to provide information to government. Provide information to government. These are known as VAT returns. Okay.
okay.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I will show you one VAT return. One picture I have. I will check now. Give me a second only. Okay, I got it. See, I am sharing a picture. Just look this one. This is VAT return. VAT due on sales, yani how much output. VAT due on intercommunity. No need to go in detail. Just look. There's an online form. You are just putting the numbers. Tuck, 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 tuck. Government will get the information. And this VAT will calculate it automatically. So this is the VAT return. And everything
And
is,
how
sorry.
but how will the government know that this is the accurate amounts put by
Yes,
the
this is the
beneficiary?
separate thing. I will let you know. First thing is, this is the VAT return meaning. Fine, fair enough.
Okay.
Now, how government will know that what we are submitting is correct or no? This is a different story. Government, see, in our course, we will just inform them. They are not telling us that how and what. So this is not in detail in our course, but I will let you know. Uh, just I will give you one example, not relevant, but you will understand. You remember before some months when Imran Khan was in power in Pakistan, they apply a rule that if you are buying any items more than 50,000, you have to show your CNIC to the purchase to the vendor, to the shop. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay. Why? Because by this government will get the data that who purchased, and then you will sell or you will consume. They will get the data. In Pakistan, we are very backward in the latest technology. But if you go to Dubai or if you go to UK, they are very much in advance, very much advanced. In Pakistan, still we are using currency notes. But if you go to Dubai or if you stay in UK, they are much ahead. They don't like money. No, this not mean that they are not liking the money. Means they are using plastic money. They have only their one ID card. In this ID card, all their information, how much they are purchasing, how much they are selling, what they are doing, everything is automatically communicated to government. And government has intelligent softwares who are cross checking the purchase and sale and what you are claiming in the return. And then if they find any discrepancy, they will suspend you, they will send you show cause, please come or please reply, otherwise they will apply surcharges, they will apply default surcharge, they will apply fines, or they can suspend you or they can blacklist you from the VAT system. Got it?
Got it.
What's next?
The first question is for default surcharge only. Like, how
Default.
does this entire thing work?
Sorry.
I have a huge confusion in this. Like, how does the entire system even work? There's one where the HMRC comes and finds out the mistakes for you, yet you still have to pay a penalty and interest. Whereas the second one is where you find out your own mistake, but you're still paying a penalty.
Okay, okay, okay. So you, yani simple is that you want to quick revision of this one, which is the surcharges and penalties, right? As I
Right.
understood. Okay, very good, no problem. So first of all, the default surcharge. Okay, what is default surcharge? As you saw the videos or you see the notes, you will definitely see these lines. I will share now. Uh, the font is very small. 1 second. Okay, it's fine now. Is it readable form now?
It is.
Okay. The default surcharge. Okay. This is from the handout. Simple. What is default surcharge? Now, default surcharge applies if you had two mistakes. If you then you can say if you submit your VAT return late, okay, they will charge surcharge on you, default surcharge. And or if you submit a return on time but make late payment, return means now you understood what is the meaning of return. So now you will understand it better. That if you provide information to government, yani if you submit your VAT return means providing information to government. If you provide information to government late, they will charge you. Or okay, if you provide information on time, but you are not paying it on time. Okay, you provide information, now you have to pay your VAT. Na? If your output tax is more, your input tax is less, pay VAT payable. You have to pay VAT. If you are not paying VAT on time, they will charge you. So these are the two areas when government is charging you. Got my point?
Okay.
Now government HMRC will issue a surcharge liability notice which will specify the period. This is a normal 12 months period, and the 12 months period is tricky. Tricky means there are four percentages. There are four percentages: 2%, 5%, 10%, and 15%. I will share a table here again. Okay, again, this is very small. Okay, this is the
Will
percentages.
this table be available in the exam?
Yeah, this table will be available in the no in the tax rates 2, 5, 10, 15. I will share you. Okay, see. Now if within this 12 months you don't make any other default, you will not pay any surcharge. But if you make within this 12 months any other default, you have to pay. You have to pay the percentages. How to pay? I will share another question with you and we will talk about it in more detail. First thing, what? Why, when you have to pay the surcharge, if you are submitting information late, yani VAT return is late, or second, VAT return is on time, but you are paying it late. Government make 12 months period to calculate your surcharge liability. And this period is 2, 5, 10, and 15%. 4% are applicable. If you have not do any mistake in this period, you will not pay any surcharge. But if you make another default and if you make second mistake, you have to pay surcharge percentage. After Azan, we will do some practical questions, so it will be easy for you. Just give me 5 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Okay, Usman, you are with me now? Hello?
Yes, hello.
Okay, now see. For the first and second, they give you some exemption that if the surcharge amount is for less than 400, they will forgive you. They will say no need. Okay, this is the minimum amount. And if first and second default, if the percentage answer of percentage is less than 400, government will say keep the money with you. We don't need. Now, how to understand this? This is the very important thing. Okay, Tommy, just read the question, please.
Tommy has submitted his VAT returns as follows. Quarter ended 31st March 2021. VAT paid 1200. Date submitted 15 May 2021. Uh, 30th June 2021. 1000 is paid and submitted on 7th August 2021. 30th September 2021, 3,100 is paid and it is submitted on 5th December 2021. 31st December 2021, 1,300 is paid and submitted on 2nd March 2022.
Okay. Now my question to you, as you saw the videos, what is the due date to submit the VAT return?
A month and 7 days later.
1 month and
7 days later.
okay. Now tell me, just talking about the first quarter. Your first quarter ended on which date?
It ended on 31st March 2021.
Okay. Till when you must submit the return? Is the return got late or no?
It is very late.
Very late. Okay. So easy. Now the first return, I am talking about the first one. Okay. The first one, which is 31st March 21. This is my quarter end, right?
Right.
So I can say it's submitted late. Am I right?
Right.
So now what will happen? We will have surcharge period. What we will have? Surcharge
Surcharge
period.
period.
A surcharge period will established by government. And surcharge period will be how many months? 12 months. How many
12
months?
months.
This is
12
what
months.
the same date will be copied. The same date will be copied, but it will be 21 or will be 22?
22.
22. So it starts from, this is known as liability period or surcharge period. Yani, if you found out that yes, we submitted the return late, what you will start creating, what you will create, you will create a surcharge period, which is known as surcharge liability period. This is done by government. Government will start now, okay, this guy is late. Now, this is your first mistake or no?
First mistake.
What is written over here? This, now you will understand it better. Just can you read this one?
If within these 12 months you don't make another default, you will not pay any surcharge.
This is your first default. Government will wait. What government will do? Government will wait. They will not. Yani if you are asking me, sir, default surcharge amount for this period, I will say 0. Why? Because we read this line that we will wait for another default. Then only, if you do, if you make second mistake, if you incurred second mistake, the first one will be chargeable, otherwise it's mark, otherwise no liability. Got my point? That's the tricky point in here. So this is my first mistake. So government says, okay, no problem. You made first time. Okay, you are UK residents. No problem. We will not charge you. We will wait. Government will wait and watch. Government will wait and watch for another default. But you are now in red eyes. You are in now red eyes of the government. Government now is waiting and watching you. Till here, any problem?
No.
If you want to note it down, please note it down. So then we will move to the next quarter.
Okay, what exactly is a surcharge period? Like, are we supposed to pay them again?
Sorry?
In the surcharge period, are we supposed to pay the penalty for submitting it late?
Committing it late penalty will be payable if you make a second mistake. The first mistake is not chargeable.
No, what I'm saying is, do we have to pay it in the surcharge period? For
Yes.
example, in the first one, he had to pay something. So
Okay,
will
I
he have
got
to
it.
pay
I
from
got it.
first
Your
April?
your question will be answered very soon. When I will you start the second and third quarter, your this question will be automatically answered. Just wait.
Okay,
Okay? Please note it down.
done.
Okay. I need you to just read this line. Okay, it's again very small. 1 second. Just this one. This you told me correct, but I just want you to read it again. Can you read this one, please? The deadline of
The deadline for submitting your return online is usually one calendar month and 7 days after the end of an accounting period.
here
There's
we
also
have
the
period. Here we
deadline.
have quarter is the period. So 1 month and 7 days. You told me correctly, but just I want to recall your information. Okay.
Okay.
Now the second one. Can you read the second one, please? The second day quarter is 30th June 21.
June 2021.
Okay. Submitted late or on time?
Seven.
Sorry.
Calculating.
Sorry, what you said? Sorry, did not get it. Is it
July is
submitted on time?
31 days.
Is it on time or is it late?
A bit late.
Why? 1 month and 7 days, no? So we have July
Well,
and we have 7 days of August. See this one? One
yeah,
month
it's on
and
time.
7 days. So it's on right on time. It's on the last day, right?
Is it considering 1 month with 31st as well?
Every month is 30 days in this calculation. Okay, otherwise, if you are thinking that July is 31, no, 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 it's not like that. You will consider the whole month. One calendar month means if it is 30 or 31, this whole month will be considered and plus 7 days.
Okay.
And the date will remain 7th. The date will remain 7th only,
7.
not 6, not 8. Okay. If
Okay.
Fab is 28, Feb is for 28 days. So no, we will not change the date. No, Feb is month and 7 days. So 7th March. So the second return is on time, right or wrong?
Right.
Submitted and they wrote it paid. No, they paid it as well. Submitted it paid on time. So now what will happen? You will face any surcharge in this period or no?
No.
Okay. So your surcharge period is what? What is your surcharge period? You already made, no? When you make the first mistake.
No. It's still 31st
Your
March
surcharge
2022.
period will remain same because you didn't do any mistake. Right or wrong?
Right.
Any confusion?
No, no confusion.
Now the third one. Will be the answer of your query. This will be the answer of your question, inshallah. What you asked me just before. The third one. Can you tell me, is it on time or is it late?
It's
1 month
late.
late, submitted late. So first thing, what is going to happen? First thing, what is going to happen? Your
We'll see if it's
surcharge.
in the
No,
surcharge
no,
period.
surcharge period. No, first thing, surcharge period.
Yeah.
My question to you is: the surcharge period will remain same or it will be updated? What will happen? I
Will
am
be
reading.
updated.
So government will update my surcharge period. What government will do? They will update my
Updated.
surcharge period. Here, the surcharge period created because it's my first mistake in the life. This surcharge period will remain same because I am not late.
Okay.
Okay, but here government is going to update my surcharge period. Why? Because I am, again, it's a second mistake. So government will update my surcharge period, and what it will be now? When is it started? Uh, you can say this: surcharge period extended. Surcharge period extended. Got it? This is the first
Got
thing
it.
happen. And now surcharge, yani default surcharge liability will be calculated. How much was the amount of your what you call, what the amount of your return? How much?
3,100.
3,100. Now very carefully, huh? What percentage you are going to apply?
2%.
Why 2%?
Because it's
It's
the
my
first
second
year.
time. It's my yes, correct. 2% is correct answer. But why I want to explain? Because the first galti, first mistake is maaf, as it's written over here. This is here, right? That first mistake is maaf. Government is not taking anything. Government is giving you chance. Okay, bhai, next time don't do it. So first mistake is maaf. The second mistake will be charged as per the first rate. Got it? It's written
Got
over
it.
here. It's written over here that the surcharge period will be extended and percentage will be payable. Got my point? The
Got it.
2% of 3,100 will be how much? I
62.
62. Now I need you to read this line. This line.
For the first and second default, if the surcharge is due less than 400 pounds, then nothing is payable.
Tommy is very lucky. His mother prayers with him. Right or wrong? So what I will say, this is not
Right.
payable by Tommy. Okay, the surcharge we calculated, but the payable, yani the answer of this MCQ will be what? 62 or 0? The answer of this MCQ will not be 62. The answer of this MCQ will be 0. Why? Because of the exemption. Because of the exemption, the 401, which is written over here. Just now you read it. This one. This exemption applies in the pehli and second. First and second mistake. This is my first one, or you can say second one. Okay. Fine. So the answer of this MCQ is 0, not 62. If you tick 62, you will get no marks. If you want to get full marks, you have to tick the 0 answer because the exemption will auto apply over here. Got my point?
Got it.
Now the last one. Uh, the last one is on time or is on late?
It is late.
Is late. Okay. Quarter ended 31st 12 21. Before disconnection, we were just saying that the last one is also late, right? So what will happen? The surcharge period will extended, right or wrong?
Right.
And it's 31st December 21, so it's 31st December uh, December 22. So 1st Jan 21. This will be my updated surcharge period. Got my point or no?
Got it.
Okay, now this is my first time, second time, or third mistake. Officially, is third mistake, but as per the calculation required, this is my second mistake, right? Because the first mistake was maaf. Correct or no?
Correct.
This was the first one, but this is maaf by the government. This one is okay. This one is the second, but as per the calculation is first because it's like that. Now, this is the third mistake, but as per the calculation is second time, right?
Right.
Okay, now carefully. Tell me the amount. It's 1300 and
1,300.
which percentage you will use? 2, 5, 10, 15?
5.
5.
5%.
So 1300 into 5%, how much?
65.
Again, the answer of this MCQ will be 50, 65 or what?
0.
Why? Because it's my second one. As
Second.
per the calculation required, it's my second mistake. So the answer is 0 because of the exemption. This is the first calculation, this is the second calculation, and as written over here, first and second less than 400 is exempted. That's how the surcharge works. I hope now you got it better than the video, right?
Right.
Okay.
But what actually happens in the surcharge fee?
Sorry?
Like, why are we charging? Like, what actually happens in the surcharge period?
Uh-huh.
Like, why are we doing the 12 months thing for it?
This 12 months, now see, that this 12 months is extended, no? Now if your next will be late, and this is the period, this period will continue, it will be recorded as the third mistake, and the percentage will be 10. And if this period is extended, it will be fourth mistake, and fourth will continue like that. So, and
Okay.
if you want to seize it, if you want to reback to the first one, yani 2% or free one, yani you have to close this surcharge period. If you have surcharge period running, your mistake will be the first, then it will be second, then it will be third mistake, then it will be fourth, and fourth will continue until your surcharge period is extended. If your surcharge period closed, the new mistake, new period will start, and again it start from like that. The first mistake is free maaf, the second one will be the first as per the calculation, and so on and so forth until the period is running. Okay.
Okay.
What else?
The penalty one, default interest.
Sorry?
The default interest.
Default interest. This was the surcharge.
So is surcharge some sort of penalty?
Yeah, this is a penalty.
Okay.
What next?
The default interest.
Default interest. Okay. Now, this is known as errors in the VAT return. Okay, errors in the VAT return. For example, uh, there are lots of types of it. I will share one by one, so it will be easy for you. Let me share the screen. Okay. See, errors on VAT return. If you have errors, now, if a VAT return is submitted incorrectly, the following penalties and surcharges will apply. The first thing is disclosure by taxpayer. Error disclosed by taxpayer are either defined as small or large. If an error occurred, then default interest and standard penalty will be applicable. This depends on whether an error is small or a big one. Default interest is the interest, a percentage applicable on the delay payment of the VAT liability. Now, very easy. See, if you are making a mistake in your returns, what government will suffer? Government will suffer simple understatement of VAT, right or wrong?
Right.
They need more amount, but you are making a error. Because of this, they are getting less amount. This will be the case, no? Right or wrong?
Right.
They will charge an interest, they will charge a percentage of unpaid amount, and this percentage will work in this table as this table. See this one. A small error is defined as if it is greater of 10,000 or 1% of your turnover, which has a maximum cap of 50,000. Small error means an error which is up to 10,000 or 1% of your turnover, which has a maximum cap of 50,000. These are known as small errors. Okay. On small errors,
Okay.
there is no default interest. Large errors means which are crossing this threshold, they are large errors and you have to pay interest. Small errors, in your next return you will show them that, hey government, in my last return I had this mistake, and this mistake I am incorporating in my next return. Government will say, okay, no problem, fine, you are my you are UK residents, no tension, no interest, go. But if a error is large one, you have to separately disclose this to government, and you have to pay interest on the amount which is understated by your error. Got my point?
Okay.
Now how it will work, one small example, let us do it. This example will be a different one than you saw in the video, so it's an additional question, additional practice for you as well. See this one, BAB Limited made an error relating to understate. See, as I said, that understatement. How much?
seven
First of
thousand
all, we
pounds.
have to identify, is this error is small or large? So our formula is higher of D minimum limit, which is 10,000, and 1% of turnover, which is 200,000 ka 1%, how much? I guess 2,000. This one is subject to maximum cap of 50. If the answer is coming more than 50,000, we will restrict it to 50. Which is higher? 10,000, right or wrong?
Right.
So now tell me what you will say. The error size is what?
Large.
Large? Higher of. Yani 10,000 is your limit, and your error is
Oh
error
yeah, it's small.
of 7,000 is under the above threshold, right or wrong? So
Right.
it's an small error. Small error. What you will write after that? You will copy this in exam. No default interest will be, this error is small because it's less than the de minimis limit. Therefore, it can be disclosed in my next VAT return. No interest, zero interest will be payable. Right or wrong?
Right.
Okay. But if this is a big error, what government will do? Then you calculate it and you found out and that this is not a small error, this is a big one. This is a large error. What you have to pay? You have to pay this. You have to pay this. If it is a genuine mistake, okay, government will say, okay, no problem. Genuine mistake, okay, fine, fair enough. But if government found out that you are careless, they will charge 30% on the VAT amount. If government found out that no, you are not careless, you did it by yourself, deliberate mistake, government will say 70%. And if government found out that you fake it, you deliberately did it, and when government found out, you try to hide it. Yani, for example, if you commit a crime, no, it's an example, okay? If you commit a crime and government caught you will say, yes, sir, I did it. This is known as deliberate mistake, 70%. If you did a crime, government found out, they came to you and asked you, hey, you did this? You are now trying, no, no, I didn't do this. I am not like that. Government have proofs, but you are doing hanky panky. So what this is known as concealment, and in concealment government will charge 100%. This is what you just asked me. Any other question?
The overseas aspect.
Overseas. Give me a second, I will share the slide. Okay. You remember that UK was in European Union just time before. Now it's not part
Yes.
of European Union, right?
Right.
Overseas expense is very easy. Exporting outside the UK is overseas. If supply of goods outside the UK, they are zero rated. Zero rated means only input tax on purchases, right? The supply of goods, the supply of service is not in your course. Very easy, right or wrong? This is exporting outside the UK. Illustration is there. A UK VAT registered trader supplies computers costing 10,000 VAT exclusive amount, yani this is a net amount, to a company outside UK. Okay, overseas expect. What we will think, what we will do, the sale, no? This is the sale. This is the sale. Output tax. Output tax, usually if you are selling computer is not a zero rated item. We have a list. Computer is not a zero rated item, but if this computer is going outside the UK, automatically it will be zero rated and output tax will be zero. No output tax. Got my point?
Got it.
This is the difference. Any item which is taxable supply in UK, okay, fine. But if this same item is going outside, if it is export, government, what government wants? Government wants export on higher end. Government, what you can say, government जो है वो चाहती है कि एक्सपोर्ट हो. Government wants exports. Pakistan needs export. They need dollar, right? So government is promoting export. So that's why all the items going outside the UK are automatically zero rated. Got it? This is the first aspect of overseas. The second aspect is purchasing. This is the selling. Selling. Exporting means you are selling goods outside the UK. So the item will automatically will be zero rated and there will be no output tax. Got it? The second is, or second overseas aspect is, if you are purchasing outside the UK. So purchase from overseas. What will happen? VAT must be accounted for. VAT must be accounted for. VAT charge is declared on the return as output VAT, but can be reclaimed as input tax on the same amount. We will do a calculation, then you will understand it better. The entries contra each other, and the only time that there is a VAT cost if a business makes exempt supplies. It's a difficult language. In order to understand it better, I will share one illustration, the same illustration, but now will be the case of purchase from outside the UK. See, read this one. What's happening? You can see company purchase computers costing 10,000 from US. Okay, company is purchasing computers from America. Okay, this is now not a case of selling. This is a case of purchasing from overseas country. What will happen? Very carefully understand, then you will understand these all 4 bullet points. What is the percentage of VAT? You remember the percentage of VAT? Hello.
Yeah, hello, 20%.
20% means how much? 2,000, right or wrong?
Yes.
Now, this is what? This is purchasing, right? In the purchase, what you have to charge? You have to claim what? Input tax or no?
Yes.
What they are doing? See, imports are not good, no? Coming into UK means imports. Government promotes export. Government don't like imports because their dollars will be used in the imports. They don't want imports. So what they want to cancel. What they will do? They will cancel your input tax. How they will going to cancel your input tax? They will say, okay, you will charge a same amount of output tax on this. Usually when we are purchasing goods, we have to claim input tax. But in the case of purchasing outside the UK, the same input will be same output means zero. Means zero. Yani no input, no output. If you are importing goods, they are not allowing you to claim any input tax by charging you output tax with the same amount of your input tax. This is the overseas aspect of VAT. What else?
Sir, could you repeat the last point? It got disconnected.
See, when you are selling it, it's zero rated. Government is not charging you any tax, right or wrong?
Right.
If you are purchasing it, on every purchase you are allowed to claim input tax, right or wrong?
Right.
Okay, what government will do? See this example. I purchase, no? So my input tax is how much?
10,000, 2,000.
2,000, right? So is giving me a refund of how much? Correct? But this is what? This is my import, right?
Right.
Government will not give you input tax in this. How? They will make a contra. What they will do? A contra output tax with the similar amount of 2,000, and they will say, sorry Baba, no input, no output, no VAT will apply. You are not allowed to claim any input tax if you are importing goods in UK. Simple.
Okay.
That's the overseas aspect. Any other thing, please?
There's also this one more concept, intra groups, intra trading.
I will let you know. Intra-group trading is what? What do you think? What is intra-group? You had
When
your financial
combine.
accounting paper earlier. Consolidation, remember?
Yeah.
What was consolidation?
One, like when
Parent,
one company
subsidiary,
merges with
subsidiary,
another.
parent, they are one group, right?
Yes.
Okay. If a company is doing intra-group transactions, they are under one roof, right or wrong? They are under one parent. Their sales are not real sales. Their purchases are not purchases. They are all be eliminated, right or wrong? So if purchases and
Right.
sales are eliminated, why you are doing VAT implications on that? Okay,
Okay. So there would be no VAT calculation on it.
simple.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. What else in the VAT?
These were only some few doubts I had.
Okay, so
I'll do
VAT
the
is
questions again if I have any